Imagine waking up to the sound of crashing ocean waves in Bali, closing your laptop at 3 in the afternoon, and stepping out into warm tropical air without ever taking a single day of paid leave. For decades, this lifestyle was an impossible dream reserved for wealthy retirees or eccentric travel bloggers. But today, a quiet revolution in global immigration policy has unlocked the doors to paradise for millions of ordinary remote workers. Around the globe, over 40 countries are actively competing for your talent, offering dedicated digital nomad visas that allow you to live legally abroad while keeping your domestic job. Yet, behind the polished social media photos lies a complex web of tax laws, income thresholds, and local backlashes that can turn your dream escape into a bureaucratic nightmare. How did a small Baltic nation spark a global gold rush for remote workers? Which countries actually offer the best deals? And what is the true cost of becoming a global citizen? To understand how we arrived at this moment, we have to look back to the world before 2020. Traditionally, working abroad meant navigating excruciating work permit processes, convincing a foreign corporation to sponsor your visa, or flying under the radar on 90-day tourist visas. This practice, known in traveler communities as border bouncing, was legally ambiguous and left workers without access to local banking, long-term housing, or healthcare systems. Then came the global pandemic of March 2020. Practically overnight, millions of office workers were forced into remote work experiments. As tech giants like Twitter, Meta, and Shopify announced permanent work-from-anywhere policies, employees realized their living situation was no longer anchored to a daily commute. At the same time, countries heavily dependent on international tourism suddenly found their hotels empty and local economies stalled. They desperately needed a new source of foreign income. Enter Estonia, a pioneer in digital government that launched the world's first formal digital nomad visa in June 2020. Spearheaded by Estonian entrepreneur Karoli Hendriks and the nation's innovative residency team, this groundbreaking initiative allowed remote workers earning at least €3,504 per month to reside in Estonia legally for up to a year. Estonia proved that highly skilled, high-earning foreign workers could inject significant spending into local economies without taking job opportunities away from native citizens. Almost overnight, sovereign nations realized that remote workers were the ultimate economic boost, high spenders who brought foreign capital directly into local restaurants, rentals, and services without burdening public healthcare or school systems. Following Estonia's success, a domino effect swept through Europe, the Caribbean, and Asia, triggering an aggressive international race to attract foreign talent. In October 2022, Portugal launched its highly anticipated D8 visa, specifically targeting remote workers earning at least €3,040 per month, which was 4 times the national minimum wage at the time. Portugal quickly became the epicenter of the European remote work scene, with coastal hotspots like Ponta do Sol on the island of Madeira transforming into dedicated digital nomad villages equipped with free community workspaces and high-speed fiber internet. Spain followed suit in January 2023 under its Broad Startup Act, introducing a digital nomad visa with a minimum income requirement of roughly €2,520 per month, along with reduced corporate tax rates under a modified version of the famous Beckham Law. Across the Atlantic, Costa Rica revamped its remote worker framework in 2022 under President Rodrigo Chavez, offering a full income tax exemption and duty-free import of home office equipment for anyone bringing in at least $3,000 per month. Meanwhile, in Southeast Asia, Indonesia targeted Bali visitors with flexible long-term socio-cultural visas while working on broader digital worker policies. By early 2024, even traditional, risk-averse economies recognized they could no longer ignore the movement. In April 2024, Japan officially introduced its 6-month digital nomad visa for citizens of 49 countries earning at least 10 million yen, or roughly $68,000 annually. However, each country crafted radically different deals. On one end of the spectrum, Dubai and the United Arab Emirates launched its virtual working program requiring a $3,500 monthly salary, giving workers access to 0% local income tax and world-class infrastructure. On the other end, Croatia opened its doors with modest monthly income requirements of around €2,530, offering complete exemption from local income taxes for up to a year. But as tens of thousands of tech workers packed their bags for sunnier pastures, the real-world execution of these visa programs began exposing deep structural friction between nomad aspirations and host country realities. While the promise of remote work abroad sounds ideal on paper, the practical realities present severe tax traps, rising local tensions, and administrative hurdles that many prospective nomads overlook. First is the critical issue of double taxation and tax residency. Under tax frameworks established by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, staying in a foreign country for more than 183 days often triggers tax residency, exposing remote workers to local taxation on their worldwide income unless specific tax treaties exist. United States citizens face an even more unique challenge due to citizenship-based taxation, requiring careful coordination with the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion, or FEI, which in 2024 allows qualifying Americans living abroad to exclude up to $126,500 of foreign earned income if they meet strict physical presence tests. Beyond financial technicalities, digital nomadism has sparked intense economic backlash in major host cities. In Lisbon, local housing costs skyrocketed by over 30% between 2021 and 2023, pricing local residents out of historical neighborhoods like Alfama and Barro Alto. This led to massive public protests and eventually forced the Portuguese government to alter its non-habitual resident tax regime and abolish its golden visa real estate pathway. Similar anti-gentrification movements erupted in Mexico City's Roma and Condesa districts, where local residents protested against high-earning foreign workers driving up residential rents and converting long-term apartment blocks into short-term tourist rentals. Critics argue that digital nomad visas create a tiered society where foreign remote workers enjoy tax exemptions and outsized purchasing power while draining municipal resources and inflating living costs for native citizens. Furthermore, bureaucratic delays plague many programs. Applicants for Spanish and Italian nomad visas frequently report waiting up to 6 months for application processing, dealing with tedious apostille background check requirements, and struggling to secure compliant private health insurance. Today, the initial gold rush of digital nomad visas is maturing into a more structured and regulated era. Governments are learning that simply opening borders to high earners is not a magic cure for economic stagnation. Nations are refining their programs to balance foreign economic influx with local housing affordability. Portugal, for instance, adjusted its tax incentives to encourage nomads to settle in inland, lower-density regions rather than overwhelming Lisbon and Porto. Meanwhile, countries like Greece and Malaysia are building clear legal pathways from nomad visas to permanent residence, viewing remote workers not just as temporary tourists, but as prospective long-term founders, investors, and permanent citizens. For the individual remote worker, the lesson is clear: success requires meticulous legal, financial, and cultural preparation. Navigating visa requirements, tax compliance, and local integration is no longer optional, it is the baseline for sustainable global living. The global mobility map has been permanently redrawn, proving that the future of work is not defined by a physical office desk, but by clear legal status and responsible integration into host communities. Which country's digital nomad visa sounds best to you, or have you already made the leap abroad? Let us know your experiences and questions in the comments below. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into global living and remote work.